Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Thomas Tom or Tommy. Feel free to call me whichever you so want. And welcome to another reading a chapter out of Freerunner Vol1, The Beginning of Nightmares. We are on chapter 3. By now we kind of know what the gig is, so I think I'm just going to hop right into it. 133 pages in the entire thing, and we only read until... Let me find it. Hold on. I'll find it. Just calm down. Stop yelling at me. Thomas, you're not doing too well. Well, I'm doing my best. That's what matters, right? We read until page 19. So, starting on page 21, chapter 3. I drove the BMW to a dump and scrapped it. Project FR is Nick and I's plan. My parents used to work for the FBI and were hunted by every criminal in the USA. So Smiths and Nikolai and I set up a Project Freerunner. Basically, the Smiths said they'd take in Emily, Nikolai and I would get rid of everything that my parents owned. Nikolai hid my outfit at his house for Project FR. Right now, Nikolai and I were in a car heading for our old home. The back seats held grill lighters. After half an hour, we reached my old place and grabbed the lighters. First, we walked up to the bedrooms and lit the bedspreads and posters and everything. Then we went to the stairs and lit the rail while we went down the stairs. After that, we went into the kitchen and turned on the oven, microwave, and stove. After that, we walked out to light the porch. Finally, we stood back to watch millions of memories burn to ashes, grayer than a koala. I don't even know how to feel about that scene. The ride to Nikolai was only 5 minutes, but it felt more like hours. The ride to Nikolai. Not Nikolai's house, not to Nikolai's, but to Nikolai. So, you want to keep the old suit or make a new one? And I even wrote at the bottom, I said, here's the old suit, and there's an arrow. And it shows it here. That is a half of a shirt with a collar, belt with the crest on the belt buckle, jeans, boot or shoes, and then like it's supposed to be like a masquerade mask. I said no, or no, I said back. After that, we were at his house, so I grabbed a notebook and started doodling. Here's the first doodle. After a few doodles like this one, I found the right one. Just a hoodie and jeans. That's the iconic suit though. That's the same suit. Oh, I got really close. That's the same suit I've been working with since I conceptualized the character. It was just a red hoodie and some jeans. Like, what's that? Nikolai pointed at the belt buckle. It's the family crest, I said back. Here it is. Here's what I was talking about. So weird. I don't know. Weird. I didn't know you guys had a crest, he said after studying it for minutes. Yeah, it was made by my great-grandmother on the Titanic, I replied. I was on some kind of crack writing this book. Huh, he said. After that, he walked to the kitchen, probably to rough up some food. The next few days were a blur. The general was arrested for drinking on campus. I became able to rejoin school, but I declined. Still, I walk about the grounds at the end of the school day. I scraped enough money for a gun license and a 9mm. I went to our old storage and picked up my Louisville Slugger. Also, I grabbed my mom's old guitar strap so I could have a holster for my bat. I guess points for creativity, but this doesn't make any sense. 14-year-old with a gun license, and he has a 9mm, and he's got a Louisville Slugger baseball bat, and he's using a guitar strap as the holster, the sheath for the bat. I did 3 days after I settled at Nikolai's, I was watching the news and found out the house we burnt was demolished by flames. Finally, the day came. Bzzz. Bzzzt. Breaker Breaker Unit 5577 and Unit 7778. If you can't tell, my favorite number is 7, so. Reporting a mega bank heist over. An officer yelled into his mic, a mega bank heist. Mega bank heist. That's your chance, Nikolai yelled from the kitchen. I knew he was right. I grabbed my black mask and hoodie, red. I literally wrote black mask and hoodie in parentheses, red. First, I put on the mask and then I pulled up my hood. So the reason the hood had shaded in the middle was that was supposed to symbolize that was actually like hiding his face. It's something I made a much better version of in later stories. Bzzz, mega heisters have moved and are traveling down 53rd over, the officer said into the mic. Quickly, I ran into Nikolai's attic and climbed onto the roof. It took me a minute to reach the top of the triangle-shaped roof. Then, I slid down the other side and jumped onto the neighbor's flat roof. I ran across the roof and used all my strength to launch off the roof and land on a passing car's roof. That's a lot of roofs. Roofs? You're out of shape, Chris mocked me. Shut up, I said. I knew he was right, though. Go, 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 someone yelled in my direction. I turned around to see cops yelling at me. Oh, God. I just realized I was on top of the runaway vehicle when one of the robbers climbed up with me. I'll count to 3 for you to leave, Freerunner, the mysterious man yelled, pointing a gun at me. Freerunner? I asked, trying to sound confused. Truth is, I left a slip of paper taped to the front door of Emily's old school. Here's that thing. It just says Freerunner protected. It's just him in a hoodie. Oh my goodness. So he knew. That plot hole. He knew what his new suit was gonna be. One, he yelled, putting his other hand on the gun's handle. 2, he yelled, this time his finger on the trigger. Now he kicked his gun into the road. 3, he yelled, but he realized he had no gun. I did a backflip to kick his jaw and send him into the cop's windshield. When I landed on my feet, I was on the van's hood. Hey, the driver yelled at me as he pulled out an Uzi. I slid down the hood and hung onto the grill of the van to where I was practically invisible. Bullets flew past my head and I couldn't see a way to get to the driver. After minutes, I noticed another van pulled up behind and to the right of the van I was hanging on. So I let go of the van and slid under my van and caught onto the back bumper. So I swung myself into the van's back room. Where was I? Everything went slow. I punched one of the robbers in the arm and scissor kicked another one. But one last guy got enough luck to hit my foot with his bat. Still, I grabbed my gun and shot him in the shoulder. The man fell out of the van. Next, I jumped and front flipped onto the other van. But I forgot to get rid of the first van, so I turned around and shot the first van's tires. What a sequence. Some of that was kind of copying a scene from the G.I. Joe movie. You ever see it, Rise of the Cobra? Where Snake Eyes is like under the van, and some of this doesn't make sense. End of the road for you, Freerunner, a familiar voice said behind me. I turned around to see the same woman officer who had tried to arrest me. Now she was wearing a desert camo vest and boots with black pants. How does my hair look? That didn't make it much better. Who are you? I yelled over the wind. My name is Juliet. Julliet. I don't think that's how that's spelled. She yelled, I was a commanding officer until you got away from me. Now I will kill you, she yelled angrily. She dove at me with a 6-inch knife. It looks like I wrote bench knife. Quickly, I jumped over her and she stabbed my shin. Ah, I yelled. I grabbed my gun and shot her. I thought she was dead. Keyword, thought. She got up and shot, and I shot her 3 more times, and she fell again. Then she got up again. For God's sakes, I said, and backflip kicked her off the van. I bent down, wincing with pain, and pulled the knife out of my shin. But here comes a suicider. I spelled S-C-U-I-C-I-D-E-R. He was driving the van until he turned his vehicle toward the shopping mall to our left. Come on, I said to myself. So I drove off the back as the mall exploded with flames. Once I could get onto my feet, I dusted myself and began walking away. I should have said dusted myself off, but whatever. Sir, you left something, a voice said behind me. I turned around. It was Melody, and she had my mask. She gasped, realizing it was me. I put my hand over her mouth and grabbed the mask. That's really rapey right there. As I put it on, she began talking quickly. Everyone thought you were dead when we heard about your house. I shook my head and mentioned for her to follow me. Together we walked all the way to her house. Look, I said, turning around. I know this is weird, but you can't tell anyone. Got it? I asked her. I want in, she said after minutes of thinking. Come on, we'll be the dynamic duo. I could be the light mistress, she claimed. I stood there thinking about it. Could be a great opportunity, Chris exclaimed. Yeah, I know, but I can't risk her life. What if something were to go wrong? I can't babysit, I said to Chris while I was walking home. I have tape down the middle of this page. I guess I ripped it at one point. You won't have to babysit. She can take care of herself, Chris said. He began to sound like her. That's when I made my choice. Hello, she asked over the phone. You're in, but you need a new name and a suit, I said. Your life's about to get interesting. And that is the end of chapter 3. We'll start chapter 4 next time. Thank you for tuning in this video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that little notification bell whenever you'd like to know about more videos just like this one or from anyone else in the channel. And I hope you have a wonderful day.